Hi, everybody. Andy here. I wear bow ties because bow ties are cool. And welcome back to Curiosity Corner Live. Now, we're currently closed to the public because we are excited to be part of the NFL draft. But each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 o'clock through May 14th, we will bring you some great videos all about the science behind football. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that science content. Also, we would like to thank the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, for sharing their curriculum with us, making these videos possible. So for more information, make sure you check out their website at profootballhof.com. There it is right there. There it is. profootballhof.com. All right. Today we are talking about tessellations. Tessellations are arrangements of shapes that fit closely together with no overlaps or gaps. They can be mathematically created using principles of geometry and patterns. There's two different kinds of tessellations. One is a regular tessellation, which uses the same shape over and over and over. Something like a honeycomb is an example of a regular tessellation. And then there's semi-regular tessellations where it's different shapes back and forth. So if you've ever seen a tile floor that has like hexagons and squares and triangles, that is a semi-regular tessellation. But a tile floor that just has square tiles, that is a regular tessellation. In fact, they call those kinds of patterns tiling in tessellations. People who study tessellations, they call it tiling when shapes fit together. So there's a lot of different examples of tessellations in the real world. One is a honeycomb, like I said, a beehive. You can see them in art. We've used tessellations in art since ancient times. Romans used tessellations. You can also use tessellations in manufacturing. They plan out a tessellation to make sure that they don't waste any material when they're cutting a sheet of metal or something like that. And you can also use tessellation when you're building something. Instead of having tiles of hexagons or whatnot, those lines between them could be supports. So you can use tessellations to figure out all sorts of different things in architecture, art, mathematics, all sorts of things. So the kind of tessellation we're going to make today is a football-themed tessellation. We're going to make a shape. We're going to repeat it. We're going to see what we can make using the idea of a tessellation and some of our favorite things from football. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. What you will need is something like an index card or a thick piece of paper. Cardstock works. If you have really thin cardboard, that'll work too. Index cards work really, really well for this. You'll need scissors to cut the index card, and you'll need a pen, pencil, something like that to draw. And finally, you'll need a bigger piece of paper for the tessellation itself. So like I said, a tessellation is a series of shapes that are put together. And we can make those in one really easy way. If you wanted a harder way to make a tessellation, you can do the mathematics behind it, try to figure out the actual angles that you need. But if you want to, you can just make a stencil like this. So there's a stencil that I made. And right now it looks like a kind of crazy irregular shape, but I'll show you exactly how I came to this. So here's my index card. I am going to cut that so it's sort of a square shape. It doesn't have to be square, but I'm going to cut it so that it's square. There we go. Got the square. And then what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to draw a shape on it. Now, the key is not to draw it right in the middle. I want to draw the shape so that it's cut in half by one of the edges of this square. So I'm going to draw a football shape, but only half of it. Now, footballs are shaped like lemons, so I'm going to draw half of a lemon. There you go. There's my half a lemon, half a football, right at the top there. Whoop! And I dropped it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to be careful. I want to keep that little shape safe. I don't want to cut into it. I just want that little bit so that I can move it to another part. So there we go. I cut it, and it's perfectly fine. There's my piece. There's my index card, and I'm going to stick it right in there. See, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this, not that far. I'm going to move it right down here so that it's right there. And I forgot to mention you'll need tape also. Ooh. So I have some tape here. I also have some masking tape. I'm going to use this purple masking tape. So let's take a little bit of my purple tape and put it on my football shape down here. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't even realize. So it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. But there, you see that it is the same shape that was at top, but now it's sticking out the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing, but on the side. So I'm going to do a football jersey or maybe a t-shirt shape. So I'm going to take that out and draw our football jersey shape. It's kind of going to be a big one. There we go. He has shoulder pads, that little shirt there. There you go. And then I'll cut that out, but I'm going to keep that shape perfectly safe so that it doesn't get broken up. I want to keep it exactly the way it is. I'm being very careful with my scissors so that I only cut what needs to be cut. The index card. There we go. And I'm going to take my tape and tape it to the exact opposite side. So I just have it, and I'm just going to go whoop right to the other side and tape it in place. So now you don't have to do footballs. You don't have to do jerseys. You could do whatever you want with your tessellation. Whatever makes you happy, that's what you should do. There we go. So you can see it's a very similar shape. And it looks really weird, but it's half a football and half a jersey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace it. So I have my other piece of paper here. And I'm going to put this right up here. Whoop, right in the upper right corner there. See how that is. So I have it sitting on top of my paper. And I'm going to trace it. Whip, whip, whip up, whip up, up. That's the noise of tracing. Ding, ding, bing, bong, ding, dong, whoop, whoop, up, uh-oh. And obviously you don't need to make a shape that's nearly this complicated. I wanted to challenge myself. But there we go. I traced it right that. And here's one I made earlier with a very similar shape. So you can see it's like a puzzle. They all fit together. They all stick together like that. And then what I can do is I can finish the shape in here. Oop, I kind of messed it up, but you get the idea. You can finish the shape. I'll show you in a moment. There we go. So right here, I finished the football and I finished the two t-shirts, and now I can color those in, and I could color the rest of it green. So there we go. So I have two footballs and two t-shirts there. And I can color this weird shape green. I could color the footballs brown and the jerseys whatever color I want. And that would be my tessellation. I would have to fill up this entire sheet with footballs and jerseys and the weird brown shape in between. So there you go. That is the start of a really cool tessellation, if I do say so myself. This is a regular tessellation to an extent because it uses the same shape over and over, but then I finished it. So now it's a semi-regular tessellation because we have the football shapes and then the jersey shapes. So there you go. That's how you can make a tessellation at home. And my challenge to you is to make your own tessellation using football themes, whatever comes to mind, whatever you want to do with it, and share those on social media with our hashtag StayCuriousCLE. And remember, every day at Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every day at 10 a.m., we will come back with more football science for you. So make sure you check out Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week. And anything you share with us, use that hashtag, StayCuriousCLE. And thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day and stay curious.